Hey, what's up, Seekers? Wanugee with GoldenDragonFortunes, your K-Rap psychic. And we're here because we just did a reaction video for Park Bom of formerly of 2NE1, last generation. She just released a video, D-Nation, and it's called Park Bom Spring. And so good, it was a good song, and it's good to see her back in action. And Dara was on there from 2NE1 as well, so 50% of 2NE1 was on that video, on that song. So it was great to see, especially with all the commotion going on in the industry. But so now we're going to do a little reading for Park Bom. She's been through a lot last 10 years, 8 years. And so I thought we'd do a little reading for her, fortune reading, see what's coming up for her. But what we're going to do is something different than what we've done in the past. And we're going to do a little tea leaf reading. We're going to read the tea leaves. You know, like tea, I know all you K-poppers, you know, it's tea means gossip, but what's the gossip? You know, spill the tea, we drink the tea, all those things. That's what young people nowadays call gossip. But we're going to actually read the tea leaves, which, you know, that's where the read the tea leaves, that expression comes from. It's an ancient, not ancient, but it's a fairly old tradition of reading tea leaves. So we're going to do that here for Park Bom and see what comes up and give it a shot. So I have some jasmine tea here, Chinese jasmine tea, a big canister of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to get some of this tea. We're going to put it into our, this is actually a bowl, okay, a big bowl. That's just easier to see. And we're going to put a bowl in there, and then we're going to pour some hot water in here and make a little tea, a little brew of tea. Kind of warm water, it's not really hot, because otherwise it would take us too long to drink it. So we put some water in there and let it steep a little bit. And then we're going to do a reading for Park Bom once I drink all the tea. So give me a little bit and I'll drink some tea, and then we'll see what the tea leaves say for Park Bom. Okay, hey, I'm back. We sip the tea. Let's see what the tea leaves say. It says there's a lot of energy going on right now for the next few months, next month or so. Seems like she's got a feeling like she's rising again, and feels almost like, yeah, it's almost like a flower kind of rising again. You can see this kind of part of this thing growing here, kind of opening up, almost like a tree blooming here. And it's like it's got a little plateau to it, to the top of it. So she's rising again to maybe to another new plateau, trying to establish kind of a base a little bit higher up than where she's been. She's been kind of coming out of the darkness here, just like the video showed, coming out of leaving the past behind with those dark hoods and everything, and trying to, you know, rise again in a new way. It's almost like she's lifting something, you know, it's almost like she's got a sword here or a scepter or something. She's like rising and lifting this scepter up and trying to, you know, get the weight of the world up above her, and, you know, try to accomplish or kind of get that burden off of her. It does say that there's going to be some following with her. There's going to be kind of a little side group here that seem to say that there's going to be maybe somebody that may be coming along or be maybe helping to push that up a little bit. So I don't know if that's a record label or Dara or who else, but it seems like that's in the short term that's happening. She may have some assistance there to help move things up and push that, you know, that sword or tool or that scepter or that, you know, it's almost like, you know, it's almost like this is almost like that symbol of the, you know, for health, you know, the snake and the thing that the medical profession uses. It's almost like that's what she's lifting up. So it's almost like lifting up the burden of, you know, her health issues, you know, her whole thing with the Adderall and the drug thing that kind of crashed her career. So she's kind of trying to lift that out of the way. And it's almost like it's been on her back for a long time. And like I said, there may be some help here that maybe comes along and assists. Then it says that going to be maybe some scattered people here and there that maybe are still out there, and she hasn't quite, you know, connected or got them brought together. So maybe, you know, those are old friends or old relationships, but they seem to be kind of scattered. It does say though that there's something that has to do with a 5. I don't know if that has to do with, you know, the 5 guys from her label mates. You know, I mean, Big Bang had 5 people, and they're kind of going through their big problems here with some of them. It's almost like there may be like a little bird or a little kind of golden thing here. There's a little white thing here that kind of comes from this 5. I don't know if that's G-Dragon or something that might be coming into the scene somehow. I don't know when he gets out of the army. I think he gets out this year. But maybe there's a little something about that that's hinted. It says that there's going to be a little bit of a question mark, a little self-doubt that might be coming up here in about 6 months or so. It's still kind of from the past and still kind of lurking around. And so, I mean, you know, she's probably going to have a little bit of up and down here. It's going to be, things are going to start to come together a little bit more in the second half of the year, slowly. There's still a lot of pieces kind of spread about, but it seems like there's some effort to try to pull those together a little bit more. And it seems like that starts to happen maybe toward the end of the year or so. I don't know if there's going to be a dancer or Minzy kind of comes in the picture somehow. I mean, she's kind of doing her own thing, but there's kind of like a little dancing kind of figurine here that shows up, at least from my eyes. The little butterflies kind of trying to call her and say, hey, you know, what's going on? Why don't you maybe consider these options or choices? So maybe there's something there that could pull together. And then it's almost like she's going to have something that comes, kind of has a little bit of a groundswell, probably before the end of the year. It looks like there's something that has to do with, you know, some a little bit of a throwback to her youth when, you know, they had those long hair and they would have those long ponytails she would have and those that they would have and kind of throw them around. It kind of looks like that here. Some kind of ponytail figurine here a little bit. So maybe there's something that's going on there. Probably, you know, toward the second half of the year, this year, toward the end of the year. Seems like things kind of quiet down after that and kind of move along a little more slowly. It suggests that maybe there's going to be, she's trying to fly, kind of, you know, fly again, probably about 15 months from now and kind of try something new, but it seems like it's a little bit half-baked. It's not quite happening, you know, as she'd like or had hoped. It's because it seems like it's missing a wing almost. It can't quite fly out and above. So it kind of comes back down a little bit, maybe gets reworked. And it seems like it's moving kind of parallel. It's not moving upward. It seems like there's just some things to be sorted out. But it does say that the things become a little bit better next year. And it seems like there's some pieces start to come together, components to it. And there may be some, suggest that there's going to be maybe a little bit of travel or something that might be part of the plans. But that's, you know, probably next year. Anyway, that's just a short, quick hit, reading the tea leaves for her over the next year, maybe a year and a half or so. That's what it says. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's what it says for Park Bom, at least in the tea leaves, reading the tea leaves. And so, you know, if you enjoy that, make some comments. You know. So we do lots of different things, and this is one of the things we do. But you know, we usually do the Mah Jong Tiles, but we do some other things too. We can do tarot and other things. So anyway, if you have some interest to have us react on one of your favorite idols, one of your stands, and or do a reading for them for their future, then why don't you just make some comments? Why don't you like? Why don't you subscribe so you don't miss anything? And let us know. Let us know what you think, who you want to see. And until the next time, I'm going to wish you all good fortunes.